I am someone in my mid-30s, so I can't really say that I didn't grow up with social media because I did to some extent. And perhaps you can relate to this because I grew up in a time where we used to chat over Mixit. And if I remember correctly, Facebook became active, or we started to use Facebook when I was, I think, in eighth or ninth grade. So I can't really blame my age for wanting to quit or say that I am not tech savvy or whatever reason people usually say. But there are five specific reasons, and I'm going to share them with you today. So the first reason is I realized that especially Facebook was a person for me. But let me first explain. So my father-in-law loved Facebook. And if I say he loved it, he really loved the platform. He would be on it every waking hour. And when the Springboks would play against whatever team, he would literally post the score every single time when there's a change in the score. And he used to make the joke that he is running Facebook from South Africa, or he's managing the South African Facebook, if I can call it like that. And he always said to people, he's working for Facebook. Even though he had a different full-time job, he was constantly on Facebook. Now, I knew that when I would go onto Facebook that he would make a post, or I would see one of his posts, or that he would respond to some of my posts with comments, with likes, whatever. And unfortunately, just over 2 years ago, he passed on. And for me, it was extremely difficult because all of a sudden, Facebook was so quiet. And I really missed his comments, his interactions with me. And I just realized that my father-in-law played such an immense role in me actually wanting to be on the platform in the first place. And that's why I started off by saying that for me, Facebook was a person. And sometimes you don't want to go to a restaurant anymore because you associate it with a specific person or with a specific relationship. Perhaps they're not alive anymore, whatever the case might be. Now, that is the same for me with Facebook. So after he passed on, I think I stayed for, I don't know how long, maybe a week or two. And then I decided to leave the platform completely, and I haven't reconnected ever since. And I don't necessarily even miss it. So the second reason is comparison. Now, this is something that constantly pops up when people speak about why they dislike social media. And I find it ironic that we continue to use social media if you find yourself comparing yourself with other people. And obviously, people only post the best parts of their lives, the glamorous holiday, the best photos where they look their best. They're bragging about their children, the nice parts about their jobs, but we never get to witness the behind the scenes. And I read a very good quote or saying that says, we compare our behind the scenes with the highlights of other people. And that is what happens with social media. We think by ourselves, but I don't have this, my life doesn't look like this, I'm not so rich, I'm not so fortunate, I'm not this or that. But they are only posting their highlights, not the lowlights. So I believe that's also why the saying is that comparison is a thief of joy. And I just decided, I really have no desire to compare myself with other people, or even to post or feel the need to post so that other people should compare themselves with me. I don't want that. The third reason is social behavior, and perhaps this is especially true after the pandemic, the C-19 pandemic. People became very introverted, antisocial, focused on themselves. So we can definitely see that people's behavior has shifted, and people value community and socializing so much less than in the past. So I really picked up that people will be your friend on social media. They will sometimes even comment or respond or like your posts, but then in public, they act strange, they behave strangely. And I assume that as humans, we've lost the ability actually to socialize. How weird is that? People struggle to have a conversation. People don't know what to say to you. People are so inward focused that they don't even show an interest in your life. So, yeah, I just felt that I can't deal with almost this, um, how can I say, this conflicting message that people send out to me, because they will like and comment and respond online, but then in person they would ignore you when you are in the shop, which I find very strange. But someone shared a joke with me, which I think is so good. The joke says that some people need airtime in order to greet you in the shop. And that's almost how it feel. Like they just don't greet you in person, but they communicate with you online. That's weird. Anyway, so I just felt like if you want to be my friend online, you can be my friend in real life, and we can build relationship. But yeah, if you want to ignore me in real life, that's fine. Luckily, I don't have to have at the back of my mind that you've been commenting and liking my stuff online, and now I'm like at this crisis in my mind, thinking, is there something wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? Did the person not notice me? Should I have done more? You get what I'm saying? So I just didn't want to be in that position anymore. Then the fourth reason is, and I spoke about this in one of my previous videos when I spoke about my experience of being on YouTube now for 7 days, is the whole concept of going from being a consumer to being a creator, going from consumption to creation, and the creativity behind it. So for me, it's been much better for my mental health. I just feel so much better when I think of creative ideas to shoot videos. What would people be interested in? What can I assist people with? Creating something from scratch, which actually helps me a lot as a person. It builds my confidence. It helps me to be a problem solver. It takes the focus away from myself and more towards what can I contribute to people out there. What has God deposited within me that I can share with the online community? So that shift for me, and that is why I am on YouTube. And I realized that obviously YouTube is a form of social media, but I don't spend as much time consuming anymore like I used to in the past. The fifth reason is I've just been experiencing so much more peace and living in the present. It's so easy to just doom scroll. All you do is looking at other people's lives, how glamorous it is, comparing yourself. And it can sometimes just feel, and I don't know about you, but as you scroll, you feel anxious, you feel rushed, you feel I'm not doing enough, I'm not living in, my house should be bigger, my life should be more glamorous, my children should be dressed better, I should look a specific way. I don't know, social media has this uh, ability to make you feel that you are not enough, you're not doing enough, and you should do more. And it steals your joy. So, since not being on social media, I just feel so much more peace. Like, yes, my life is not perfect, and I'm sure there's more people or people that live better lives than me, but that's perfectly fine. And then, yeah, just living in the present with myself, with my children, with my husband, being at work, just taking in moments in the present and not through my phone consuming other people's lives and being so concerned about what's happening in other people's lives. And then I want to end off this video by something else that I read, which I felt is so powerful. And someone actually wrote, and I can't remember where it was. I think I saw it maybe on YouTube, but the person said that we as humans were not designed to know so much at the same time. Now, maybe that's not proper English or phrased well, but with social media nowadays, we know what is happening across the world in different places with different people, different governments. I don't want to say the word, the WHO, um, all these different organizations. It just, you are bombarded with information and you don't know what is the truth and what's not the truth, and the wars and the rumors of wars. So you feel like I have this overload of information and it makes you anxious. And what the person was basically saying is that we were never designed to know so much about so many things at once. God didn't design us that way. Yes, it's good to be informed, it's good to know what's going on. Obviously, it's good to be a well-informed person. But unfortunately, social media bombards you with so much that you can easily feel overwhelmed. You don't have the ability to cope, and you literally ask yourself, am I going to survive another day? Which sounds ridiculous, but that's what it does. It puts you in a state of panic. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please drop in the comments if you've quit social media, if you're considering it, and yeah, share with us any value that you derive from quitting it. Thanks for watching.